for me, one of the stunning things about it was when I first started looking into it, when James had first got in touch with me, and it was like kind of stunning to see the number of victims. Like
Mhm,
because I'd never even heard the term before. And
mhm.
the example of Julian Assange is obviously a famous one, but like it goes way beyond what's happened to him. It's there's a stunning number of victims. I mean, what Susie, I think I keep thinking Quattro. There's a fantastic journalist who's done a lot of work, and I will link her stuff in the description below. She's done a lot of interviews with victims, and just the sheer number that she was able to find that would sit and talk to her on her podcast, where it was stunning. But you talked about
Mhm.
how you've been presenting it in a way that gets the attention of politicians and makes them like sit up and listen. Like, well, how have you been going about that, and what way do you approach that?
Yeah, so we were really fortunate because one of the people who joined our support group, a guy named Bob, brilliant guy, he was in marketing for with Amazon and Twitter. So obviously it has a lot of marketing expertise. But beyond that, he's just a brilliant guy. So we got together, he and I and a couple of other people, and we really knocked out, what are the basic precepts here? What is actually happening here? What does everybody report? And we found all the common things, and we realized that there are a couple of terms that have really been stigmatized, just because people are so traumatized that they will, one person will go to a politician or they'll go to somebody in the UN, and they're so traumatized that they don't know how to present it. And so they come off as sounding crazy. And the terminologies that those people have been using is game stalking, targeted individuals, that those two particular words are extremely stigmatized now, to the point where over here in the US, if you go to law enforcement and you say you're a targeted individual and you are experiencing gang stalking, they will more than likely put you on what we call a 5150 psychiatric 72-hour hold in a mental facility. So we realized that we had to avoid certain terminology, but we also boiled it down and we realized this is a set of protocols. No matter what you want to call the umbrella term, and we started out calling it covert harassment, and we've learned since that that doesn't work, but um, it's a set of protocols. Basically, the set of protocols is deep, deep character assassination. And I mean, when I say deep character assassination, these people are not messing around. They profile you long before you know what's going on, and they systematically destroy any relationships and social circles that they can. And that's before you know what's going on. All you know that is going on is, oh my God, why are people treating me like I have bad breath? Um, and you lose jobs, people lose jobs, etc. And then you realize, then they kind of slowly let you know that you're under surveillance, and that's also deep surveillance too. That is in the home and out of the home. And they have different ways of letting you know that you're under surveillance, but you eventually get it. Then there's the hacking of computers and devices. There's nobody I know that doesn't have their smartphone, their iPad, their tablet, their laptop, and their desktop computer. It's all hacked. The only way I've been able to kind of maintain any kind of privacy is I use an Ethernet cable with my laptop, but my iPad is all hacked. They immediately know what I'm doing on there. Let's see. What are the other protocols? Okay, then they recruit as many people as they can into participating in this. So whatever neighborhood you live in, it doesn't matter. You can move. I moved across country. You can move across country. It's going to follow you, and they will set it up. And I think that they do this through several organizations, including Neighborhood Watch, um, uh, um, organizations, that sort of thing. So there's other protocols. I should probably pull up my presentation and look, but basically this is a set of protocols. And when you break it down and present it like that, there's no reason for people not to believe you. Oh, one of the other protocols, of course, is the directed energy weapons. which I'm fortunate I do not experience that, but many, many people, most of the people in our support group are victimized by directed energy microwave weapons. So we always point back to credible news stories. And we were really thrilled when Ronan Farrow came out with his expose on Harvey Weinstein, because these are the protocols that Harvey Weinstein was using to victimize his Me Too survivors. So Harvey Weinstein, then Leah Remini has come out with her expose on the Church of Scientology. That whole first season of that docuseries is a perfect example of what we call now cyber torture or organized harassment. I'm using those terms because that's a terminology that we're finding in the press, and there's more and more stories coming out all the time, and so we kind of pick up whatever terminology they're using. So we always point back to news stories. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on here.
You're right.
Oh, Siri thinks I'm talking to her. So anyways, I'll stop there and let you interject here.
Yeah. Thanks so much for listening. If you haven't already and you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast and to our mailing list. And don't forget, my book, Brexit, The Establishment Civil War, is now available for pre-order on Amazon. You'll find the link in the description below. Until next time, thanks so much for listening.